Zan Wap.
What is up, our gang? Y'all tuned to today's video. And as y'all can see by the title, today is going to be a story time. It's going to be a story time about one of the most emotional moments of my life that I would like to share with you guys. And I would like to share it with you guys because I feel like there's something y'all need to know. So make sure y'all get this video to at least 60 likes. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, please do not watch the video and don't leave a like or subscription. Just a comment to let me know how I'm doing would just be an appreciation. So make sure y'all stay tuned for the giveaway this Friday. Yeah, we are doing a giveaway this Friday. So I'm gonna announce the winners on my Instagram, life_as_wap. So make sure y'all following that. So y'all stay tuned. Let's get it. Your boy is back, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get it started with the story. It was just like any other normal day in the neighborhood I used to live in. We used to live out far in the country off of the highway. And we used to live far out in the country. So it was one day we were outside playing, everybody, me, my brother, my sister, my cousins. Everybody was outside playing. And then we were outside playing, and next thing you know, a few unmarked black and white vehicles pull up. Not in our driveway, but in the neighborhood. Followed by them were just two regular cars you'll see on the street. Followed by them were like 10 or 12 police cars. Well, we didn't have police then. We had sheriff. So it was like 10 or 12 sheriff cars. And then followed by them, it was like two ambulance and a few rescue units. And so we just see them, we just thinking they going to a different house or maybe something went wrong. So me, back then, I was young, but I could understand my surroundings. So I ran in the house and I made sure everybody was okay. I made sure everybody was okay. And then, next thing I know, I come back outside. All of those vehicles that I just seen in the street are in my yard at this point. At this point, all of them are in my yard. So I'm like, okay. So this woman get out of the car accompanied by two sheriff officers. She get out of her car and she introduced herself. Everybody broke down and started crying. They're like, what are you here for? Then they say, we have got a few complaints of something. I really don't remember what the complaints were. So I was like, okay, I understand the complaints. And then, well, I did understand them back then, but this story, it happened a long time ago, but I couldn't remember. Like, I remember it, but I don't remember word for word of the story. So she was like, my name is, da da da. You know I can't say her name on camera, but she was like, her name is this and that. And then she was like, can I ask you guys a few questions? And then she took us in the house. And then she was like, I would like to ask the children a few questions. She was like, do you guys eat every day? And we were like, yes, we eat every day. And then she was like, do you sleep well? Yes, ma'am, we sleep well. These are all questions that we could answer back then because we knew how to answer them. And then she was like, do you guys like to go outside and play? And do y'all get enough free time? We were like, yeah, we get enough free time. So she was like, okay, well, that will be all. Now I'm going to ask her mom a few questions. And then she asked all our parents a few questions. And then next thing I know, everybody walking out the house. Mama walked my two little brothers to. My mama walked my two little brothers to our cousin that stayed across the street. And then it was at that moment I was like, okay, what's going on? So it was this gray van that pulled up that we got in. It wasn't a van like a daycare van or a church van. It was like a minivan with tinted windows. So they put us up in the minivan, and then we got in the minivan, and then we went to this place. And then when they took us to the place, I knew that I knew some faces that were there. Like I seen my nana and my grandpa there, like waiting. And then so I'm like, okay, I see what's going on. So my nana and my grandpa, they signed some papers, and then me and my brother left with my nana and grandpa. So we left with my nana and grandpa. My neck can chill a little bit. But we left with my nana and grandpa, and then they took us to their house. And when they took us to their house, we stayed there for a few months. And then I just remember a day, it was like a repeat, but except with lesser people, less police cars and all that. It was just like the two women, some police cars, and a van. So I said, Nana, where we going? She said, y'all going to see your mom. But then she opened the door, and I see who outside, and it's the same people. So I started crying. I was like, Nana, where are we going? And then they gave us a Pop-Tart, an Oreo Pop-Tart, and just stopped talking. Like, just everything just stopped. Dried up my tears. Yeah, I used to love them Pop-Tarts. I dried up my tears, stopped everything. And so we were driving. It was like a 30-minute drive. And then we finally got to the destination we were going. We stayed there for like 3 weeks. We met a bunch of new people. And there, me and my brother were together. We were never separated. And he was like, I got your back, and I had his back against anybody. Because back then, me and my brother, we used to love. Okay, I'm going to say it. We used to love to fight. Like, love to fight. But I settled down. So we used to be like, if you look at us wrong, like the whole family, like if you look at one person of our family member on the bus wrong, every one of us are going to confront you. So then you would know that you're outnumbered. But so we got to the shelter, and then a woman came there a few weeks later, and she was like, hi guys, and she was talking to us, asking us a few questions, and then it was her and her son, and then she had 2 dogs, but literally we know that woman would be our foster parent. So we got to know her, we moved in with her, and she used to have a little old car, but then we got with her, and then we went to go get a new car, like a brand new car. Like it was one of the cars that was so new that like they got it like out of the showcase room in the car dealership. So we were like, okay, we got a new car, but we wouldn't understand what the purpose of having a new car was back then. So yeah, it's kind of emotional, but yeah. I don't got no tears, but I try to keep a smile to not let everybody know that I'm going through this particular situation that I would like to get off my chest. But like, it just hurt to tell a story. It don't hurt no more. It just hurt because I'm back with my mom now. But anyways, a few weeks in, we were living a good, like, we had anything we asked for. I just got homesick all of a sudden. I was like, I want to go home, I told my big brother. And he was like, this is our home. I said, no, to mom. And he was like, oh. And then I was like, I got an idea. I know what I can do to get me home. back then we had plastic hangers. I mean, we had metal hangers instead of the plastic ones that we have now. So I was like, I want to go home, and then she was like, "What's going on?" Y'all sorry about the background noise. It's just a truck cracking up. So I had untwisted the whole thing and made it like a sharp shank. And then I was like, if you don't take me home, I'm gonna stab myself up. And she tried to basically, I'm gonna say it like this, but she tried to basically patronize me, like she felt what I was going through before, but I knew that never happened to her before. And then so I was like, I was finna stab myself, but I didn't. Some stopped me for a reason. And then she was like, she held me in a restraint until the ambulance got there. And then when I went outside, like on the stretcher, they had to put me on the stretcher and strap me down. It was a bunch of marked cars and sheriff cars. We lived 2 minutes away from the hospital there in some apartments. And she was like, she followed us to the hospital. And then this when I stayed there that night, they transported me to a different hospital. Like, this was the real hospital, but then they had a part that the crazy people would go in. That's the part I slept in that night. And then they transported me to this place called Brentwood. I went to the place called Brentwood, and that's when I stayed at Brentwood. And then it was this nurse. I didn't like nobody back then. She gave me a mug as soon as I walked in. So I was like, "What you looking at?" Like that type of way. So she gave me like a stank face. She gave me a stank face, and then I was like, "Okay." And then she was like, "Woo, I'm staying overtime tonight." And then I was like, "Oh my God, you are?" And then she was like, "Yeah." And then the other nurse said, "Why you don't like her? Like, why you don't want her to stay overtime?" I said, "Because she always tried to give me shots." This was a few days after I had been there. She was like, I was like, "She always tried to give me shots." And then she was like, "Okay." She was like, "No, I don't." But she would be cursing at me and everything. She was like, "No, I don't." I was like, I ain't saying nothing to her. Man, it was that night she said something to me, I had cursed her out. And then I was like, alright. And then it was this big man. Her and him came in my room, and she was like, "Alright, you want to curse me out?" And she got a shot. It took them a lot to hold me down, just to stick me with a needle. Back then, they used to give you shots in your butt to calm me down. So they gave me a shot. I went to sleep. Back then, they had shots that keep you to sleep for a little bit. So I stayed there for like 2 weeks, and then they had school like that'd come teaching all that, so you always be knowing what's going on. And then a few weeks later, I know I had left, and then I had left a few weeks later, went back to, but I went to a different foster family, and at the second foster family, it was a black foster family. The first one was white. But now I'm separated from my brother now. Now it's kind of crazy. I get separated from my brother. But our foster parents, me and my brother, they worked at the same place. He, little did I know, he went to another foster parent too. And they both worked for the health department. So I would still see my brother. In some case scenarios, I would still see my brother at work at their job, and then I would see him, and so I had a better life. And yeah, y'all, that's it. Like, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Now I'm just living life. Y'all see, I started the channel. We're growing slowly. We're growing, and make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Don't let certain things hold you back from doing what you love to do in your life. I realized that at a young age. It took me a little minute, but I realized that if you got a dream you want to pursue, don't let nobody stop that. Make sure you do what you got to do to pursue that dream. Anybody that lacks the energy that you have to pursue that certain dream, you keep them from around you. You just distance yourself. So y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Let's get this video to like 60 likes, like I said. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And if y'all can't do all three, I understand. Just at least leave a comment for me to understand how I'm doing. I just want to know, like, everybody's opinions count in my eyes. Whether it really matter, it counts. And y'all, if y'all have negativity, just don't comment at all. Basically, if you don't have nothing to say, don't say it at all. And we are out, WAP gang.
Was that WAP?